quarterback, and that is the team to watch.
Facts.
Them and the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions, 11 wins.
Whoa! Wait a second. Hey, hold on, Vinny. You had me there. I agree with almost every word you said until you said 11 wins. Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast. The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. The best sports podcast there is, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson. Man, we got a great episode for you today on August 11th, 2022. Now, I'm doing something today. I need to tell you right now, I'm doing something today that I don't do very often. Now, look, let me tell you, let me bring it down just a little bit, because usually I never talk about the Detroit Lions, but I'm bringing them up just for a second today. So, I think the Lions might actually get about 6 or 7 games, and that's me being very, very generous. So 6 or 7 games with the Lions, maybe a 6-11 record finishing. And again, I'm being kind of generous. I guess I woke up extremely happy this morning. So I don't know what it is, but believe it or not, I've never really been a Lions fan, although that's the hometown team. But I'll low-key cheer for the Lions if they ever get good. And Peep, I said ever, because this has been going on forever. The Lions have never made a playoff run. They've always been bad. Ever since I started liking football, I've been born into bad football from my hometown team. So I don't cheer for them. I was never a fan of it. I was like, okay, if I get to choose a team I like, why would I choose this 0-16 team? Why would I choose this bad team with no winning history, just occasional good players? But anyway, that's besides the point, because Lions, they got the football series Hard Knocks. And I don't know if you've been watching that at all. I watched a couple little clips and stuff like that, but I'm not impressed. Not impressed by the hard work and the cool football shots that they show to kind of hype this thing up and make it seem like, oh yeah, the Lions are going to be legit this year. I've been living too close to this team my entire life, so I know exactly what they're capable of. This is the same little trick that they've been doing for the last 30 years, and probably even longer than that. They get you hyped before the season. They say, oh yeah, the Lions gonna be sweet this year. They got him. They got this coach. They got this going on. Oh, they got the new playbook. They got this running. No. And you know what they do? They finish 3-13. That's what they do. Or even better, they finish 4-14. They don't finish and do anything in the season, ultimately. But I will say, look, I'm not going to dog the Lions too much, because obviously, you know, they're changing things. The biggest change that we've needed to see over the years was for the damn Fords to sell the team, because clearly they don't give a damn about the Lions' progress. Anytime your team is bad for 30, 50 years, whatever the case is, however long they've been bad, it's a problem. It's a goddamn problem when your team has been stinking it up for that long and nothing is changing, and from head to toe, everything needs to be cleared out. But anyway, that's another story. But I say, however, all of that to say, there is one slight thing that's kind of impressed me with the Lions, and it's not the personnel. It's not the play, and it's not necessarily the playbook or the schemes, the people, the stars, none of that stuff. What's really impressed me is head coach Dan Campbell. And I say Dan Campbell strictly for the fact that he kept his team motivated last year when they were terrible, losing week after week after week. And some of these games were close losses, meaning they lost within about 6 points for a couple of these games in situations that they just could not help, and you couldn't do anything about it. So because of that, and I watched the players still go out there, give 110%. You know, that kind of tells me something, that this head coach really has a hold on these guys. And even from the Hard Knock series of what we're seeing, Dan Campbell is still motivating the hell out of these guys. That's something I can 100% respect, because there was a game I went to last year, a Lions game actually, when they played the Ravens. And it was when Justin Tucker hit that 66 record-breaking field goal to win the game against the Lions in Detroit. Literally took the soul out of the stadium. And it was hilarious. It was hilarious because I wasn't going for the Lions. That's why it was funny to me. But I wasn't going for the Lions. So I actually had a Ravens hat on. I should have wore it. But I wasn't going for the Lions. So it just made it that much better. But it was just a situation where you can't really do much about. That's the whole reason I bring that up, because if Justin Tucker is going to make a 66-yard field goal, or if somebody's making these insane type of plays to win the ball game, what can you do about that? So I don't know. I say Hard Knocks is going to be cool, though. I like what I see so far. And I do believe eventually this team is going to get better over time, because if he's embedding that hard work culture, that gritty and grimy culture of going out there giving effort plays 110% of the time, they have no other choice but to elevate. And right now they're doing it with no stars. They don't have any crazy big names, or they don't have these, crazy super talented players right now on the team. So when they get that, it's going to be a huge difference, and it's going to make a hell of a difference in that culture, especially if they're coming there to give 110%. So it's going to be cool. We're about to jump into the callers. Let's see what they're talking about really quick with the callers. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll jump straight into it, see what's going on. Stay tuned. Yes, sir. Okay, yeah, man. So let's jump straight into the callers. So the question here for the callers, to kind of give some sort of gauge of what we're going to be talking about. And the question was, what team is your must-watch team in the NFL this season? And again, you can always call in at 219-413-9405, and we'll play back your voicemail here on the show. So what team is your must-watch team in the NFL? Let's hear it. The first caller. Let's see what he's talking about.
What's going on, Manny, bro?
What's the deal, Boots? I already knew it.
Here with the hot take. Kansas City going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Up and coming. Nobody going to see it coming because Tyreek left. Tyrann left. It's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see y'all boys in the Super Bowl, man.
You crazy, man. You know what? You're really hilarious, Boots. I love how much you support that team. When, that meme where people be saying, I want a partner that support me like they support this. That's you with the Kansas City Chiefs. That is you with the Kansas City Chiefs, because you support the hell out of them. And I love it, though. I love it. Realistically, this is probably going to be the toughest time for the Chiefs to get back to any Super Bowl, man. The Chiefs, yes, they did lose some pieces. They lost some pieces on defense. They lost a couple pieces on offense. But ultimately, this is going to be the toughest Super Bowl to achieve for any team coming out of the AFC, just because there's so much competition. I highly disagree that the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. I think this may be the year that if they run into the Bills or they run into another talented team on the way there, they might get put out early this year. I mean, Pat Mahomes is going to still have a good season. I'm not saying that's over with, but getting back to the Super Bowl is tough, man. Brady really makes it look easy, and Mahomes that made it look easy over the years. But the AFC is stacked with competition this season, so it's going to be tough for any team to get to the Super Bowl, especially the Kansas City Chiefs, if that's who you rolling with. All right, so let's get to the next one. Let's see what he's talking about.
This is Vinny.
What's the deal?
But I feel like the team to watch this year will be the Denver Broncos. Because
Okay.
finally the Broncos got them a quarterback, an established quarterback in Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
You got the receivers you need. They got the best talented defense in the NFL. It was number 3 in points allowed last year. And that defense on average is 28 years old. So they have a long ways to go. But I feel like in that division, with Tyreek leaving the Chiefs, then Devontae joining the Raiders and Khalil Mack joining the Chargers. But I just feel like the Broncos has got the upper edge. I really do feel like they have a top 5 quarterback, and that is the team to watch.
Facts.
Them and the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions, 11 wins.
Whoa, wait a second. Hey, hold on, Vinny. You had me there. I agree with almost every word you said until you said 11 wins. Oh, hell no. Hell no. 11 wins for the Detroit Lions? Boy, you must have. Come on now. What was you on? What was you doing this morning, Vinny? Or whenever you left this voice, but what was you doing? Come on now. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone. But look, if the Lions give the city of Detroit 11 wins, man, I don't know. I gotta talk to you after this. We got to chop it up because we gotta put some bets in motion. If you really believe the Lions getting 11 wins, man, when is the last time the Lions even got 11 wins? That's I'm concerned now. I need to fact check it. But anyway, boy, you threw a curveball at me. Anyway. Denver Broncos, let me focus on that. I just got done talking about the Lions. 11 wins, I'm still mind blown that I don't know who the hell you think this team is, boy. Hard Knocks got you fooled, man. I'm telling you right now. Hard Knocks got you fooled. But anyway, Denver Broncos, definitely a team to watch. Denver Broncos is those guys. I think they're definitely gonna live up to that hype. You add Russell Wilson to a lethal offense like that with that many offensive threats coming out of the backfield, spreading the field and receivers and slots in the line. It's dangerous. It's dangerous for that team. So I definitely think they're a huge threat when you bring up the elite teams in the AFC. Especially because not only is the offense good, but the defense is good. And I was trying to get a fact check on the on that stat you said if they allow only 3 points, an average of 3 points defensively. But man, even true or not, either way, that we already know that defense, the personnel and the scheme is just lethal as is. So that's something I'm looking forward to the Denver Broncos as well. I think that's definitely a team I'm gonna keep my eye out on. When we talk about what teams we're keeping an eye out on. And the Lions, man, boy, you must have got paid off. You must have got paid to say some shit like that. You definitely got paid. All right, man, look, let's jump to the next call. Let's see what they're talking about. Let's do it.
Yo, what's going on, baby? I have to make this call. This Jamal, man.
What's the deal?
Way from Michigan, baby.
What's going on?
How do you feel about Anthony Barr on the Cowboys? I need to hear everything you got to say about that. I know you're not a Cowboys fan. I love my Cowboys to death. Anthony Barr was a great pickup, but I do believe that the Bills is going the whole way. I do want to hear your take on Odell Beckham maybe going to the Bills, Von Miller maybe pulling him that way.
To the Bills.
Please give me some insight. How you feel about that? Who's the team this year that you going with? That you saying, Mars? They going far. I'm saying the Bills.
Oh, okay.
My sleeper team is the Oakland Raiders. Tom Brady would not be going all the way. I said it here first, baby. Thank you.
Okay, so Brady's not going all the way according to y'all. Okay, I don't know when the hell y'all gonna learn. First, I gotta address that last thing first. Y'all dropping bombs on me today. I love it. That's why we dropping bombs. I got to address that. You said Brady's not going all the way. When are y'all going to stop counting Brady out, bro? Hasn't he proved he's the GOAT already? Every year after year, we say, Brady ain't doing nothing. Brady ain't doing shit this year. Brady ain't doing this. He ain't doing that. And what does he do? He goes on a run, and if not, he goes to the Super Bowl and wins. Come on, man. All right, look, that's enough. Come on now, before you throw a statement out like that, Mar, you got to know, man, bro. Y'all got to stop counting Brady out. Y'all can't keep counting Brady out like that. Y'all got me flustered. Y'all about to work me up, man. First with the damn Lions. Now you talking about Brady ain't doing nothing this year, as if we can just count Brady out. I don't give a damn how old Brady is. If Brady is 65 in the NFL still slinging a rock, I'm saying he's going to the Super Bowl, and I'm putting a little bit of chance that he actually might go to the Super Bowl just because it's damn Tom Brady, bro. We not counting Tom Brady out. I'm not accepting any Tom Brady slander until Brady proves that his arm doesn't work no more and slinging a rock. I can never count him out of possibly going to the Super Bowl and possibly doing what he does best, playing quarterback. That's just facts. That's just facts. I'm not looking at that no other way. No other way. You asked a couple questions. Raiders, that's a solid sleeping team right there, a sleeper team right there. That's definitely a team to watch, though. They got the new addition with Devontae Adams. I like that offense right now. A lot of weight is on Derek Carr's shoulder because he got a lot of help. So he definitely has to show up and make something happen with that type of offense. Another team for me that I believe, that was another question of yours. What team do I think is a team to watch? I would say the Bills. I think they are a good team. We definitely have to keep an eye out for the Bills. I'm hoping they actually get past that hump they've been losing at for the last 2 years. They lost to the Chiefs on 2 consecutive years. Man, they go far, they get there, see the Chiefs and fold like tissue paper. So, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to watch. But anyway, man, another team is the Tennessee Titans. I want to see the Titans ball out. They got my guy Julio over there. I'm a fan of Derrick Henry. I love the way he run the rock. But the question is really just going to be Tannehill. If he can throw the rock past 40 yards and get the ball to Julio Jones. So other than that, man, no, I think that's going to be nice. But look, man, yeah, other than y'all getting me flustered, and I'm excited, though. You know what? I like when a cause, give me a little rattles dazzle, whatever you want to say, man. I like that. But anyway, look, we're going to take a quick break. We got some boxing topics coming up. Now, Alexander Usyk and Joshua, or Alexander Joshua, I'm all over the place now. But Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua, they're going to be fighting a rematch from the match that we seen in September. And Tyson Fury also flirted with the idea of coming back. But it wasn't just an idea. He confirmed it. But we got some news coming up in just a second. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Now, just because you're busy doesn't mean you got to be stressed. I'm crazy busy right there with you, but it can be easier. Next time you're on a run, just make it more fun and listen to The Run with Manny Wilson. Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The best sports podcast there is.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson. Yeah, I got news for you, but I still can't believe this shit, man. I can't believe the content that y'all was just dropping on me in the voicemail. I'm really mind blown still. This man said the Lions is winning 11 games. 11 games for the Lions, bro? Come on now. All right, look, I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna drop it. Let's get into the news. So to kick it off, man, Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, says evidence calls for at least a full year suspension for quarterback Deshaun Watson regarding his 25 civil lawsuits of sexual assault. Now, before the NFL decided to take another look at this, Watson was previously suspended for only 6 games despite having 25 civil lawsuits of sexual assault. And now to put this in perspective a little bit, it's 100% well-deserved. And this is actually still pretty light for a person with 25 sexual assault cases going on right now with Deshaun Watson, regardless of the position. There's running backs out here And there's other players, not just running backs, receivers, all players in the NFL that get suspended for a year for just abusing the substance policy of smoking weed or something else, whatever they might be smoking. But there's Martavius Bryant, example, suspended indefinitely for marijuana. Josh Gordon was suspended 25 games for marijuana. Darren Waller was suspended 16 games for substance abuse. So, this is still really a light sentence when you talk about a person with 25 sexual assault cases going on right now and still being able to play in the NFL only after 1 year. So that's something that's crazy right there with Deshaun Watson going on. The Cleveland Browns, as mentioned, you got to go back and listen to that take I mentioned on the Cleveland Browns because I did touch on that briefly, but it was prior to he actually had the suspension. Now, Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, recently announced that he will be making his return to the boxing ring after retiring less than 3 months ago. Now, he already called out Derek Chisora and to fight a trilogy, although he's already beat him twice. And even better, he called out the winner of the Usyk and Joshua rematch. And that kind of brings me to my next news right there, where Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua will be fighting in a rematch on August 20th. Now, Usyk, he won the first fight back in September by split decision. So, it's crazy, man. I a lot of times, us as guys and us as people in general, because women do it too, we're just terrified to admit that somebody is better. And no matter what you do, somebody's going to be better at something than you. You can't be the best at every single thing that you do. Now you can do a couple, 1 or 2, maybe 3, but everything you do, you can't just be better. Like Charles Barkley, he said he thought he was the best player in the NBA until he played Michael Jordan in the finals and realized, like, damn, this dude, Michael Jordan, he's really the shit. He's better than me. And then you look at the Tyson Fury and the Deontay Wilder fight. When they were boxing, they fought 3 times. Once was a draw, and the other 2, Fury knocked him out. He beat the hell out of Wilder. And then both of those other fights, you just seen that Fury was just a better boxer. He was just better than him. And kind of where we going with this fight with Usyk and Joshua, he did not look as good as Usyk in the first match. When we watched the fight 1, man, Usyk had complete control. He had all of it going for him in fight 1. And it was a damn good fight because it went the distance and all, and there was ups and downs. But Usyk had control of the fight for damn near about 80% of the time. And it looked as if he was just the better fighter. Now, Usyk, he did his thing, and some of the things I really liked about him and that confirmed things for me when he fought Joshua is that, one, his mechanics are definitely sharper than what Joshua's are. He's more technical, and it looked like he outsmarted him in the ring when he was fighting against Joshua. And not only did he outsmart him, but there's a couple things that Joshua needs to change as well if he wants to even win this fight here, because a lot of time I seen Usyk work with the room that was given to him, and he really got there and gave Joshua the business. But that can't be done. That can't keep happening for Joshua if he wants to actually win in this rematch or make it even better, because I think anything is possible, obviously. I personally believe Usyk is going to win the fight. And I think he's the more skilled fighter when you talk about the mechanics and you talk about the elusiveness and the IQ when you're actually in the ring. But Joshua still has a chance. Some of the things he has to correct is, one, he has to be 100% more aggressive. Going in there fighting a smaller fighter because he has the height advantage. He has the weight advantage. He has the length advantage. He has to go in the ring and try and damn near bully Usyk, because other than that, he's not going to be able to be quicker. He's not. Clearly, I think there's an IQ advantage with Usyk and Joshua, but other than that, man, I don't see any other way that Joshua can possibly pull this fight off if not a knockout. And Usyk has already proved to be tough, so he's not going to knock him out. And then it sucks too, because even when you look at the physical aspect, say Joshua does go out there, he gets physical with him. He's kind of trying to bully him around, toss him around a little bit, just be very, very aggressive and physical with him. We've seen Usyk adjust well to when he fought Chisora, because when he fought Chisora, that's the same thing he tried to do. And yes, it gave him a little bit of problems. It made it very tough for him. But ultimately, Usyk did adjust and he pulled off the fight despite Chisora being a very heavy guy, heavier than Joshua, and then being much more physical than what Joshua was in his previous fight. So I think even if Joshua does come out aggressive, trying to pound him and trying to just be more physical and manhandle him, I don't think he'll be able to hang with I don't think he'll be able to hang with him, man. I just don't think he'll be able to hang with Usyk. And it comes to a time, as I mentioned, where somebody's just better. And from what I've seen in his previous fights, Usyk's previous fights, of the way he's adjusted to guys fighting, and his mechanics and the way he boxes, his IQ, his speed, his elusiveness, his counters, his straight jab points, all of those little things matter. And from what I've seen in the past with him till now, and that previous fight that they did in match 1, I think it's all going to carry on to match 2. And it's just better. It's better than what I've seen from Joshua. So I mean, yes, it's going to be a good fight. I'm hoping for a good fight, but ultimately Usyk comes out with the win. I definitely see it happening that way. All right, man, look, now I appreciate you for hanging with me. If you've been kicking it with me the whole time, man, hey, you got to be sure to follow us on Instagram at The Run Podcast, or you can follow my personal at I am Manny Wilson. But I greatly appreciate you for hanging with me today, man. Hey, we got some much more coming on to The Run. Next week, we bringing in guest Jake from Jake's Takes Podcast. It's going to be a great episode. I can't wait to touch on it with my guy. But anyway, man, that's all we got for you today. I greatly appreciate you, and you have a great day. We will be back next week, and so on and so on and so on.